Hey guys, my name is Ichiro Narita,
My name is Quinn Looper.
and this is Why Gaming by the CGA.
We want to shed light and gather perspectives from esports organizations, competitors, and creators and show why gaming is such an integral part of our culture today. Welcome, KayGee. Thanks for coming down from unmatched talent, unbelievable gunfight player, one of the best gunfight players in the world. Seriously appreciate you coming by, and we can't wait for this conversation.
Thank you for having me. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah. So first thing we want to talk about with you is just how did you get into gaming? What was the first game that really sparked your competitive ability?
So I actually started playing Call of Duty when I was about 7. The library had like this rent thing. You go and rent the Call of Duty. So I rented World at War on the Wii. Started playing there, and then I played COD Ghost competitively. A lot of fun. I wasn't too good, but it was just fun, just trying to win. Started winning a little bit, and then Modern Warfare came, and that's when I kind of blew up.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So did you always have like a team coming into Modern Warfare, or did you kind of find your way, like find your partner then?
Not really. I mean, my duo, Sean or Slayboy, I played with him since Infinite Warfare, so it's like 4 years. We were always pretty good. We just never really found like other people that were as good as us. So just kind of played tournaments, won a few, and here we are.
Just whacked some talent, man,
Yeah.
on and off. Yeah, ever since you joined our league, that's definitely what we've seen. You've been waxing some of the players in there, so it's good to see that talent shown off in the right place.
So how do you go about, finding other players that are, just as competitive as you or, want to play at the same level that you want to play at? Is it just through certain servers or Discords or?
So I'd say seeing who wins a tournament, seeing who performs in the tournaments, who's really out there trying to get better, not just playing every now and then.
Right.
Like Twitter's a good place. Game battles. There's a lot of different places like Discord, game battles, Twitter mostly. I'd say Twitter is probably the best way.
So coming up in Ghosts, that kind of must have been weird because I feel like a lot of the community probably didn't feel so strongly about that game. I don't know how you see it now, but
I was like 13 years old back then, so I wasn't too great, but I didn't really like the game. I tried my best. I wasn't the greatest, but
yeah, but you came up quick. When did you find out that you were that talent? Like, was it Modern Warfare? Like, as you said, you kind of blew up?
I mean, I knew I was always good, better than most. It was the biggest problem was I was young, and I couldn't. They came out with like age restrictions. I couldn't really like. I'm 18 years old now, so back then I was like 13. I couldn't play in the big ones, but I knew I had the talent, so I just waited till I was 18, and then it all worked out for the most part.
So coming into Modern Warfare, 2v2 gunfight's a fairly new game mode. You're jumping into a place where not too many people are focused. So like why was gunfight the game mode you chose? And like instead of jumping in with like a top 4v4 team, like why did you choose to focus your energy there?
So as I said, I met Sean a few years back in Infinite Warfare, and we were just doing 2v2 S&D. We weren't winning as much as we were today, but we we're still winning a decent amount. And when the beta came out, it was gunfight. So we played gunfight. And then the game came out, and we started winning gunfights. So we're like, we're making money off this. Why should we switch? Like maybe there'll be more money involved, and we just stuck with it. And that was a lot more money involved. So we just stuck with it. We were winning for the most part. So.
Yeah. So you've had how many game battle seasons? Because right now the last time I checked, you were 49-0 on game battles and gunfight. Are there seasons to that? What'd you do? But like, have you ever lost a game, man? Like that's
Well, I mean, honestly, like for game battles for XPs, not money involved, just for fun. Yeah. I kind of just play that when there's nothing else to do, when there's no tournaments with my friends, and we're all pretty good, so we don't really lose. And right now, I think we're 204-0 on this season for fall. I mean, we just kind of play for fun. We take it serious because we don't want to lose. But I mean, I think my past 400 something games I haven't lost. So.
Oh my God, man. And that means maps too, or like you lose maps every once in a
I
while?
think we dropped. We played best of threes on this team because we don't want to ruin the record. So I think out of the 205-0, like the best of threes, we've only dropped one map. So
Jeez.
So
pretty crazy.
What does it even take to like get to that level of competition? I mean, obviously you have to practice, but what are some things that you can do outside of just playing the game that can kind of take your game to the next level, you know?
I think obviously having a good, you can't just be like, you have to be passionate towards it. If you're not passionate towards it, you're not really going to go too far. You could win a few, but if you have like a life outside of gaming, like whether it's exercising, girlfriend, whatever it is, like your mental capacity is going to be higher than like usual. So I try not to get too focused into it and still have a life. Like I have a girlfriend. I try to work out as much as I can, all that.
Nice.
But like I think if you're too involved into it, it's going to eat you up and basically bite you in the butt later on. So
Do you have a practice routine, or like, you know, how you say you work out, like, do you have a set routine that you do every week, or is it just like kind of how you feel about every day?
well, every day is kind of different. I have like a schedule in my notes on my phone, try to figure out what days I need to be on, play certain things, do certain things. So every day, like my sleep schedule's messed up right now, but I'll wake up around like 2 p.m., try to go on a jog or something, and then get on and play. So I just try to take it day by day, not really like pressure myself too much about everything.
Do you play any sports in high school?
I did. I played baseball and football.
Oh, that's dope. I played baseball
Yeah.
all throughout high school and college. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
What position were you?
For baseball, I was first base. I kind of like switched around. So I was first base, I was center field, shortstop for a little, and then football, I was a left end, linebacker for a little, and a tight end. So
Nice.
Nice.
We find that like, you know, high school and college sports, and, you know, obviously pro sports, it translates differently into like an esport athlete than it does if the esport athlete like had never had that prior experience. Like,
Yeah.
what are some ways that you think it translated to you?
I think I always used to tell a story to my friends. When I was in gym class, like freshman year, or even like in middle school, like when we played dodgeball, I was so competitive about it. And like if I would lose, I would want to win the next one. So I feel like that's where it kind of, because that's when I started getting into gaming. That's where I started getting into competitive gaming, because I just had that competitive like mentality, even in like gym class. Like I don't know, it's kind of transferred over. I just became really competitive with the way that I am. And
Yeah, we definitely. I feel like I noticed that a lot with competitive players, that they just have that drive in their gut that like you can't replicate, you can't teach.
yeah.
It's just that innate drive.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's talk a little bit about City Circuit now. Now tell us kind of overall, like how did you get involved in this event? Like, were you invited? Was it free to open to everybody? And how did you and Sean do?
So for the City Circuit, they announced in the beginning of the year, it was the 12 teams, the 12 cities like London, Paris, Dallas, Atlanta, all of them. So they would each hold their own qualifier. And initially it was going to be on land, you qualify, but then Corona came around and everything went online. So they opened it to everyone. So everyone could join online, whatever. So on Game Battles, they ran the qualifier. It was like 400 teams, something like that. Me and Sean played it, hoping to win. We knew we were going to win one eventually, but we played the first one on June 26th, which is Dallas Empire, and we won that one. We got first place. So we played for Dallas Empire at COD Champs for the City Circuit tournament for $100,000. So that's how we were able to represent them. And then there was more throughout the rest of the year. So
That's really
it was a really cool experience.
Yeah,
Getting to know the Dallas Empire guys and everything.
Yeah, that's super cool. So what would you recommend to, you know, players that are trying to get into the competitive scene? You kind of mentioned that you just kept playing until, you know, you figured you would win one, but what would you recommend for players to do or to be on the lookout for, or maybe some pages to follow or websites to follow?
So I say go to the tournament websites. Like it depends what you want to get into. If it's search and destroy, gunfight, respawn, like variant, it depends. But always play the tournaments, even if you know that you're going to lose. Because when we played the tournaments, we would in the beginning of the year we would lose a few, but we just kept playing, practicing, taking notes, and we kind of learned off the better players. And nowadays, I see that people don't play the tournaments as much because, like, I don't want to sound cocky, but they know that me and my teammate are going to win them.
Gotcha.
So if you just played them and learned from us or anyone, whoever it is, you would ultimately get better in yourself, because that's what I had to do, and that's what happened with us.
And do you think in the beginning, like money is kind of a big deal? Do you think that stops a lot of gamers, at least like in terms of entrance fees? Do you think that stops a lot of people from playing competitively because they're either scared of losing money or they don't think they're good enough maybe?
Yeah, I think for like to a point, because it's really like it'll be like $3 or whatever amount it is to enter a tournament. And sometimes I have the free entries. But I think what stops people getting into gaming the most is the cost of like the controller or the headset or the monitor and just everything. It's a lot of money to get into it, but there's definitely a lot of money to be made too. So it's an investment. That's what it is.
When were you and Slay nervous at all during the city circuit? What was the most nervous point you guys had, and were you afraid that you weren't going to be able to overcome that moment?
So in the actual city circuit COD champs in the actual tournament, it was a 2-week tournament. So the first weekend was like pool play and like your standings, see where you seed. If you make it in, only 8 of the 12 teams made it into the bracket, which if you make it to the bracket, you get the money. So we placed first in our sides. So we played like the 4th seed from the other pool. So we won that game, which granted us into semifinals, but that means you have a whole week to prepare for semifinals. So it was like, so that whole week off of just like, we're here, we already made a good amount of money. It was just nerve wracking. Like that week, we didn't know how to prepare, because you get a whole week to play 2 games at max if you win them both. And it was just nerve wracking that like in the moment, it was kind of nerve wracking because like if you make one mistake, it could like you'd be upset with yourself. And we ended up losing that game, but we were still very proud of ourselves for everything that we've done this year.
Yeah, dude, I would be too. Y'all have accomplished a hell of a lot and you're young too. Like you have so much left in your esports career.
Yeah.
So when you talked about meeting some of the, being around some of the Dallas Empire guys, did you get to meet any of them, any of the players?
Nah, not really. It wasn't really like that. If Corona didn't come around, they would have flown us out to Los Angeles for where COD Champs would have been, and we would have been meeting all the players and just like chilling with them basically. But since it was online, we didn't really have contact with them. We had contact with like the owner and like all these different other people that are associated with Dallas, but it wasn't like the actual players. But it was still, everyone was super nice. Like they sent us jackets and they sent us a bunch of stuff. Like we have jerseys and everything. Like they were super nice to us.
So in this situation you won the tournament to be represented by Dallas Empire. Does that mean that, for next year you would keep that, or like you'd have to go all the way and win that tournament again to represent Dallas Empire if they did it again?
Yeah. So we represented Dallas Empire for the tournament. So that doesn't mean like we're going to be staying with them for next year. So I'm in organization Unmatched Talent now, which is run by actually the owner of that organization is someone who played for Atlanta FaZe in the tournament that we played in. So we're all like friends, everyone that competed. But as far as like next year goes, it's unless they do it again, like we won't be representing them next year unless like they want to sign us or whatever it is.
So tell us about Unmatched Talent. How'd you get involved with them, and tell us a little bit about them.
So actually, my teammate in your guys' league, Solidify, he played for Atlanta FaZe with his teammate Inveiled, and he, like me and him are really good friends, and he had this organization he used to own in Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4, whatever it was, and it's called Unmatched Talent. And it was just pub stomping / competitive, like esports, like both, basically the best of both, and you have to be really good to get into it. So when Cold War, they announced Cold War, he was thinking of bringing it back, and he immediately got all the guys back together, like 100 people, all these really great, talented guys, and so now we're back there. So he picked me up for that. Yeah.
That's really cool. Do they compete in any, I'm sure it's not just a gunfight. Is it just COD? Is it other games? Like
as far as I know, I think it's only Call of Duty, but it's like guys from Doom Clan and like all these crazy talents are in this one place. And it's whenever you want to play, if it's 4 a.m, you type in the group chat, someone will be up and playing. So
that's one of the coolest things about gaming, man. Someone's always there to play with you at any time.
Yeah.
What are some games? Do you ever see yourself competing in a game other than Call of Duty, or are you kind of committed to stay on the Call of Duty esports train?
I could picture myself competing in another game, but not like it would have to be a first person shooter. Like when I don't know, like when they announced Valorant, me, Sean, Solidified, we were all very I don't know, like we almost were gonna make the switch, but then the city circuit came around and we were like, we have to keep doing this. So we kept doing this and it worked out. But like we almost made the switch. I don't think I could see myself competing in like Fortnite or something else like CS:GO. Like I think it'll strictly be Call of Duty for a while.
Nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you like so much about Call of Duty that makes you want to stay, you think?
Well, I've always played Call of Duty. But I've like basically only played Call of Duty since I was about like 7 when I was renting the games from the library or whatever.
Right.
So I think
what
I
an
can
origin
never
story,
part with
man.
it.
What an origin story.
It was crazy. I would always get the Call of Duty 2 or whatever. But yeah, I've always been with Call of Duty, so I feel like I can never leave it. No matter how bad the game is, if it's jetpacks or whatever it is, like I can't leave it.
Have you played some Cold War?
Yeah, I have been playing it a lot. The alpha beta or whatever, the first one that came out, I played the whole weekend. Last weekend I played the whole weekend. Today, I actually just before this, I was playing wagers and tournaments. I won a tournament today with a few of my friends, so that was a cool experience. It's a lot of fun. I like it so far.
Cool. That's what's your favorite gun, favorite class?
The Milano. The Milano, I have 8 attachments on it. I actually have 7 because I took off the reflex sight, but it's crazy. I have stim shots. I have everything I need just to get 60
That's
kills
the
a game.
Uzi light gun, right?
Yeah, the Uzi light gun, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Are you excited about it? Are you excited?
Yeah,
about
it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun, especially with friends that know how to shoot straight. Like, it's a lot of fun just running through kids on the map. Like, so fun, so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see yourself losing for the duration of Modern Warfare, it being out in gunfight?
For Cold War?
No, for gunfight, for Modern Warfare, like because we don't know if gunfight's coming out in Cold War, right?
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think there was a leak that it wasn't. But for the rest of Modern Warfare, what is there, like a month left?
Yeah.
I'll be playing it for the most part, but I'll probably chill out a little, just get ready for Cold War. But I don't really see myself losing too much for the rest of the month. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been doing it all year, so a lot of practice.
Do you have like a game plan or like a ritual for every new Call of Duty game that comes out, or something that you do?
So for this year, we haven't really mentioned too much about it, but I mentioned about Solidified, the guy that owns Unmatched Talent. We were planning on doing the race, which is like the race to Master Prestige when the day drops. So I think that I've never done that in the past. Obviously, I tried to get the highest level the fastest I can, but I've never tried to beat everyone in the world to it. Yeah. So we're going to be trying to attempt that this year. It'll be fun. Even if we don't get it first, like, yeah, it'll still be a lot of fun. Yeah, for streaming and all that.
Right.
Yeah. Are you gonna stream a lot more with Cold War? How often do you stream?
I try to stream. I haven't really been streaming too much lately because towards this end of the year, it's kind of dying out a little. So I've been trying to stream like the big tournaments, or whenever, like the beta, I try to stream a little. I'd say I stream like about 3-4 times a week, mostly at nighttime. But for Cold War, definitely in the beginning with this whole race to Master Prestige thing, I'm going to be streaming like 24/7, whether it's me or Solidified. Like, we're both going to be going at it for sure.
Oh yeah, nice. Where do you see yourself? You know, where's kind of the pinnacle of Call of Duty for you? Where do you want to get to?
So I say for this next year, I'm either going to be going back to S&D or going into the respawn scene, to like the amateur scene. Yeah. So I'd say in a few years, hopefully by the time of 2021, I'll be a pro. But if not, I'd still be grinding the online tournament, still be making a name for myself. But the goal is one day to be pro for sure.
Yeah, you've been doing it, man. You've been crushing it. You're already on the path. So that's the really cool thing to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what games do you play? And when you're just chilling, when you're not playing Call of Duty, you've got to play some other video games. What do you
Sometimes I'll be playing. Actually, last night I kind of got a little bored. So me and my friends who play Gunfight too, we hopped on COD 4 and we were going for these speedrun world records on like the campaign. Nice. But other than Call of Duty, I usually sometimes I play Madden, sometimes I'll play 2K, but it's mostly Call of Duty whenever I'm on the game. So
Nice. Yeah, well, man, thank you for coming by. I think this is, just like getting someone of your talent here is really cool. Yeah. And I can't wait to see where your career goes. And if you ever need anything from the CGA, man, we're here. We're going to be continuously running and upping our amateur tournaments and leagues as well. So if you're going back into S&D and Respawn, grab a team and come compete, because we're going to have some tough talent in Cold War.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, as a last thing, if you want to shout out your socials, if you have a Twitch, a YouTube, an Instagram, all that, Twitter, good stuff, just shout it out. Yeah.
So my Twitter is KayGeeNJ. It's KayGeeNJ for New Jersey. My Twitch is KayGee, KayGee. That's really about it. Like, my in-game name is KayGee, so everything kind of matters.
All right, man. See you out on the battlefield, bro.
Yeah,
thank you so much for coming by, and have a great evening.
Great.
You too. Thank you.
Peace.